Hey, good evening everyone. This is David, MSOM601, the final video of the class coming to you today from CenturyLink Field, right outside CenturyLink. Tonight is the Seattle Sounders playing for their playoff hopes, and then tomorrow night is the Seattle Seahawks against the Detroit Lions. So the final video for this course wanted to go over Lesson 6. Discussion 1 for Lesson 6 dealt with subject matter experts. And hopefully the video that you talked about showed you a lot of really cool stuff this week. Hey, how you doing? Talked to you about and gave you some good ideas on when to use subject matter experts and when not to use subject matter experts. Those are really important to do. So hopefully that gave you some interesting insights. I think the key thing that you're going to find in Lesson 6 was just the whole idea of using your strengths, using your critical thinking skills together as a team. And so that was Discussion 1, subject matter experts. Discussion 2 talked about making toast. And based upon the discussion comments that I saw on this one, it was really interesting, and I think you had a good time with this one. And again, the key message here is sometimes being visual, but also working together with different people with different ideas, putting them together. One person doesn't have all the answers, rarely, in problem solving and critical thinking. And then the application this week dealt with SMEs and Amina's story. And there were several people, several individuals, several teams who, thank goodness, were subject matter experts in their area of expertise. But again, the key message is they would not have been, or perhaps the whole process wouldn't have been successful had they not worked together, using their strengths, using their talents to do that. So that was Lesson 6. Now the final week in Lesson 7 begins to talk about your personal worldview. Now again, one of the key things that you have in going forward in problem solving and critical thinking, we all bring biases in. And biases, again, doesn't have to be a negative, but it's sometimes presented that way in a light. But we all bring in a worldview bias, if you will, into the things that we do. The most critical thing that I've experienced over time is just making sure that you know what those biases are. It doesn't mean that you're going to get rid of them or that they're not going to exist, but making sure that you recognize what those are. And again, red model, recognize your assumptions, right? Because your biases, your worldview will be the basis for some of the assumptions that you bring into the process, all right? So that is Discussion 1. You have 2 application exercises this week. The first application, I just want you to do some personal inventory and go over what you've learned, hopefully over the last 6-7 weeks, and perhaps you have some new approaches that you're taking as it relates to your future education, as it relates to personal, professional types of approaches. And so I'm always interested in seeing what students put in that, because my hope is that this just wasn't an exercise for you to cross the first course off your list and move on to the next one. My hope is that you learn something not only about problem solving, not only about critical thinking, but also about yourself through that process. And then the final application this week deals with organizational impacts. The decisions that you make as a leader in an organization sometimes have a much broader impact than you may recognize. And so in Amina's story, the decisions that were made in that to help one girl obviously had organizational implications, not only for the tribal elders there, not only for the Marines, but for the churches and other people who were dealing with that. So I wanted you to apply those based upon what you're looking at in Amina's story. Okay? I hope you all had a great class. I've always enjoyed this class, always enjoyed the dialogues that go through on this. So just wanted to thank you for your participation. If there's anything I can ever do for you, you have my email, you have my phone number. Please give me a call, even after the class is over. One of the things I always enjoy are the connections that I make with students, not only during the class, but also after the class. All right? Take care. Have a great day.